Boom, boom, reminisce, 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 carrying the traditions of St. Kofa, because sometimes we got to go back and collect what we have forgotten, man. This is the Reminisce Show. I'm here with my brother,
Mindbender Supreme.
right, man. I go by Logic, man, and we're just here ready to build, connect with the culture, connect with the people. And yeah, man, Toronto, man, there's some momentum happening, man. So we're gonna build on that. But as always, we always got to set off, man, with our check-ins,
Mhm.
because that's always important, man. Keep the energy circulating. Yo, man, how's things, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm healthy. Just got some groceries.
We always got to set off.
Yeah. Whew. Um, yeah, man. Feeling good about I guess see the year come to a close. Um, just get my energy together. Yeah, man. I can't complain. Can't complain. Yeah, happy that I got to see a hip hop show, and I'll get to a little more of a moment that I had in that moment. Yeah, there was a little mini Mr. Front Row story I'll share later. But how are you? We'll get into it.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Definitely can't complain. I'm looking forward to, like, kind of the holidays to kind of slow down a bit and just I don't know. I feel like when the weather gets a little bit colder, man, I just got to get more like I'm hibernating. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just embracing that kind of energy. But other than that, man, yeah, feeling good. As I was saying, man, we got to experience some hip hop this weekend, and it just reminds me of like how important hip hop is to me. You know what I'm saying? Like these reminders of being able to see like the artists that we've like grown up listening to, and to see them still rocking stage, and enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll definitely build more on that in a bit, but
Yeah,
so I'm just grateful for all of that, and those experiences and vibes. Yeah.
you are so right, man. You are so right. Quick shout out to Buckshot, who unfortunately wasn't able to make it, but looked like Smith and Wesson said that he was doing okay and healing, and that they were handling the situation as it needed to be. But yeah, I wanted to see him rap, man, because like he was on the flyer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I kind of expected him, but yeah, like if anybody deserves, if anybody wasn't going to be on that bill, that's okay for him not to be.
For sure. Totally understandable, man. Yeah, yeah.
His situation, so he can just heal, and he can just like he's good, man. He's good.
Yep, 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 yep. Well, I mean, speaking of which, man, we can just even go into that, man, because that show just happened. When was it? Like 2 days ago, Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? So we can definitely build on that. I got a little 1-2 footage. Stolen from Africa was definitely live on the scene, and it's
Um,
something we really want to bring more to the forefront, man. So let me share a little splash here.
mhm.
Probably can't really do with the sound right now, but y'all can really just get the visuals, and of course, us being right at the front. Yeah, man. So why don't you give a little bit of a commentary, man, like your experience, being at the front, being an artist, building with them.
Well, yeah, man, it's so good to see these guys are. I love this. This is hip hop forever to me, man. Like classic New York boom bap energy, rocking lights, not rhyming on no other vocals. These guys going back and forth,
Oh,
crowded.
there we go. There we go.
Yeah, man. Daps, connecting to the crowd, just yeah, holding down the stage, real DJ. Yeah, everything was just I love Smith and Wesson. They embody some of the purest hip hop I think that will ever be, and they just continue to carry on the tradition. I got respect for cats like them because they're kind of like I consider like working class hip hop cats who are
Break that down for me, man. Break that down. Break. That's an interesting perspective, yo. Break that down.
because they're like they've been stars and they're superstars to some heads, but to some people they're like, oh, whatever. I don't. They're not
Yeah.
popping on TikTok, or they're not like they haven't sold multi-platinum, blah blah blah. So some people don't pay attention, but these guys are just legends and
Yeah.
veterans and carrying on from time. Who have songs? They've toured the world. They're just independent labels. They're serious entities. So they're to be respected, even if they're not like massive stars. They're just like OGs in every sense.
100%, 100%. And for me, like these days, especially as I'm getting older and really recognizing things, like just to see them to be able to, still be on the stage doing their thing 30 years later. It's pretty incredible, and everybody's looking healthy, everybody's looking good, everyone's looking blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's incredible.
You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Because not somebody was talking about it. There's a lot of there's quite a number of hip hop duos that one of the members is gone,
Mm,
and like a Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, like Supreme Being Unit, and like there's just like some groups just one member is gone, so you gotta
yeah,
appreciate what like the group, like you gotta appreciate the Locks, gotta appreciate Smith and Wesson, cats like that.
100%, man. 100%. Yeah, man. So you know what? I don't have any footage, of the mob set, but I guess like, well, once you want to build on that, man, because I actually left a bit early, and there was a special guest that I'm so sad I didn't really get though. But yeah, once you want to build on a bit on that.
Yeah, it was a really awesome surprise. I'd seen Mob Deep like 3 or 4 times with Prodigy and Havoc together, thank God.
Okay.
So this is the official tour of Big Noid replacing Prodigy, and
Yeah.
Big Noid did a really good job, man.
I
I
must say, I must say,
Those are like some massive shoes to fill, massive, and very few people could have done what he did. And like, he wasn't Prodigy, but he was awesome. He was awesome. He was real live. Because Havoc is a more laid back guy, and Havoc's always been the more quiet one out of the two.
yeah,
He's a producer. So Big Noid really stepped up and was like really hype, and he was funny. He came and dapped me up at one point, and it
yep,
was a dream come true because I always wanted to like daps up Prodigy. I never got
yeah,
Prodigy. So I was front row, and like Big Noid had one line where he's like, "We're fucking up, niggas," blah 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 blah, and then like he ran up to me and did like this kind of like he like shook my hand and was like did this like wild action thing that went along with the rhymes that he was spitting. And
yeah.
I was like, yeah, 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 and I was like getting hype with him, and he was shaking my hand. And then he came up to me like 30 seconds later and shook my hand kind of like in a peaceful, like, yo, I hope you didn't mind kind of. And I was like, bro, I was like, it was totally cool. Like
Yeah, yeah.
his body
That's
energy
hip
was,
hop, man. Come on, this is what we're here for, right?
I was like, you didn't fuck with me at all. I was happy to be like included in your performance. And he was, yeah, Big Noid was great. Saying all that to say, like 3/4 way through the show, they were just like, "Yo, we got a special guest," and then just Core Mega walks out and just starts.
Oh,
It was crazy, and then
wow.
he spit like 2 songs. He spit 2 songs, and then just stood back at it, and then just kind of watched the show from the side of the stage and daps up everybody. He came and gave me a daps at one point because I was wilding out in the front, and
Of
Core
course.
Mega came over and just shook my hand. I was like, "Yes, thank you." It
Yeah, that's peace, man. That's peace.
was a
Hey,
great time.
man, it was definitely a beautiful vibe, and yeah, I just can't believe that I didn't catch the play that Cormega was actually in the building. And it's funny because, as I mentioned before, man, the Easter eggs were all there. In the section where people were selling merchandise, there was a Cormega vinyl like with signature, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. Cormega signature. Okay, got a signed record or whatever. And then as I was leaving, I hear, the first couple notes of affirmative action, that don't. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Like, why are you playing affirmative action? Like, I don't like who's on the you know what I'm saying? So I just kept it moving, and yeah, and then I saw the footage later on. I was like, oh, Cormega, man, come on. So but you know
Yo,
what? To be fair, like I've seen Cormega twice, and the last time I saw him was at the Velvet Underground. I believe you were there too.
that's right.
And I got some footage. I got some beautiful footage from that because that was a proper show. That was a
Yo,
proper
that was
show.
insane and intense. It was a great
Yeah, yeah,
show.
100%, 100%, man. But yeah. So speaking of like shows, there was another one that went down, which was a little bit more local, which was Rise Edutainment. They had their last Rise session. Let me see here. We got this video lined up.
Oh, you got some footage of it. Dope, dope, dope.
That's right, man. This is what I'm talking about, man. SFA TV live on the scene.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So this is Toby, he's just jamming in the crowd, building with the people them, and it was just like a beautiful vibe. So Rise does this like every year. I believe they're celebrating like over a decade. Like, they've been doing this for quite some time. And Forsante, Tara, I'm saying a few other Keisha Keys is her name, and
Okay.
a few other artists, man, which is an incredible vibe. Real community driven, just enough love, inspiration, like a lot of support, and I got to big up Randall and all the people involved, man, because they really created an inclusive environment that was just inspirational. What I'm saying, as you can see the vibe, everybody's just out here representing, and it's beautiful, man. So yeah,
Look at that, man. It don't get more beautiful, yo. Young black energy.
you can definitely see that, man.
Yo, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. That's what it's supposed to be. Yo, shout out to the young cats. Yo, oh man. I was at an event. I was at another party on Saturday. It was a cool event on Queen Street. It was a office party.
Okay.
Office themed sex party actually. So
Mm.
it was wonderful. It was wonderful. But yeah, just have it's Toronto, just too many damn things to do.
That's the bet. Like, you got to be in the know, man. If you know, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's real. That's real. So yeah, man, yeah. I guess the year is wrapping up. We probably got like 2 weeks left for
2 weeks
2020.
left, yeah. And you actually brought to my attention that new Snoop album, because I did hear that release, and I actually gave it a listen earlier today, which I was pretty impressed. It was definitely a vibe, you know what I mean? Like, you can really hear the evolution of Snoop, and of course paying homage to, what I mean, like the foundations of sounds, and getting back to, like, some of the roots, in terms of the social commentary and a bit of more consciousness and whatnot. Like, it felt like a balanced experience, which I appreciate, because I always want to hear growth with artists, especially artists like Snoop, who's been around for a long time. Like, I want to hear about the human side, and the evolution of self. So I feel like I really got that experience, from a first skim of the album. I'm gonna do a deep dive a little bit later, though.
Yeah, man. You will get more from it because I returned to it, and yo, it's just a solid piece of work. I'm listening to it. I ran through it the whole time, just on Friday, and I was so impressed with what he did. It's very mature.
Yeah,
There's not a single time where he panders to other hip hop popular vibes, or he's not doing no down south shit, or no nothing, no crunk, no trap, no. He's like, I know what I do. This is my lane.
yes, yes,
I am a legend for this reason. I'm not switching up for y'all. Y'all come to me. And he's just really
yeah.
mature. There's a lot of maturity in the and there's even like a little reggae song. Like, there's one song where he gives a little shout out to, because I was like, the Snoop Lion shit was slept on to me, yo. That shit was, and Snoop kept his dreadlocks. Snoop, people thought that was just a phase. Snoop
Yeah,
still,
yeah. He did. He did. Yeah, 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 yeah,
don't get it twisted, yo. Snoop was like, this is real culture,
yeah.
yo. I'm
And I
not.
appreciate that. Like, that's proper. That's that consistency.
Yeah, exactly. And yo, the album was just really good all the way to the end. The one thing I will say is, I kind of wish that there was Daz and Corrupt on it, or a couple cats from the first Doggy
Mm,
Style.
mm.
He's got Dr. Dre on it, of course, but like, not to it's not too much of a criticism at all. But like, I
Lady
just,
of Rage and all that. Like,
yeah, I wish there was like a Lady of Rage. Even if they're on a skit, they could just be
right,
like,
right.
but
That would have been cool.
that's my only like slightly minor criticism.
Fair
But
enough.
that's not to say that the music is bad. The music is great. So I
Yeah,
just,
musically, like, and as I'm listening to the songs, I'm picturing it being performed live. And I can picture like the live band and everything is just like perfect. So I can tell that it was created with that in mind. So I expect like a tour to be coming out soon, and what I'm saying, like, these guys will be back on road.
yeah, for sure. There's so many songs that are. I feel like there's a lot of hits on it, and the album's got a lot of life to it. And I'm like,
Has
I
a lot
expect.
of life. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A lot of life to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I expect them to be touring it like by summer next year.
Mhm.
That the album isn't. It's not an album that's like fly by night. You hear and like, oh, like 2 weeks later, it doesn't matter. Like, yo, man, Snoop, you got a beautiful body of work that you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
be like rolling out for the next 5 6 months.
yeah. Like it sounds like he rediscovered his passion. You know that hunger, that drive again, and it's good to see. And you know, for us like younger heads, you know, who are like moving along the timeline, it's good to know that you can get your like second, third, and fourth and fifth wind of
Yeah,
like inspiration, right? So it's just good to see.
you said it because Method Man's on there, and
I
Method
was gonna say I love that, and Method Man ate it up, man. Like, of
Man
course.
working. That's just like, yo, man, they sound like they're 27.
Yeah, like it's good to see. So it really kind of like takes away the stigma of like age, and what that could look like. So hey, man, we got to represent because hip hop is still young, and like I said, man, I want to see you know these artists reach like elderly stage where they're in their walkers and whatnot and still spitting. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to see with hip hop, man. We want to be at those levels. You get me? So yeah,
Yeah, it's possible. Definitely possible.
yeah.
So, yeah, man. Shout out to Snoop Dogg for that album, man. Shout out to Snoop and Dre and all the people. That shit was that last dance with Mary Jane. That song was nice.
Mm.
There's a song I think there's a song with a super awesome bass line, and I think Pharrell is on the chorus. And
Oh, okay.
oh man, that song is. I'm like, yo, when they if they do a video for that, that's gonna be a massive hit.
It's proper, eh?
Yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of tunes on there. I'm like, this is this is music. This is rap. This is
Mm.
proper. So, yeah. What else is popping? Anything else that you got on your radar?
Hmm. Um, I know that that when it comes to the case with Jay Z and one of the women who was let me see, there's a article here. Long story short, so like the woman accusing Jay Z and Sean Diddy of sexual assault acknowledges of inconsistencies. So I'm not sure like what that's going to mean moving forward or whatnot, but I know that was a recent topic of some sort.
I saw some information on that. So the NBC talked to her, and she said that she was like, some of my details were a little blurred. One of the things that apparently has come to light is that she thought it happened in the year 2000, but apparently this after party with Benji Madden and so and
Yeah.
Diddy's mansion. Like it couldn't have happened with that alignment of events, but apparently it could have happened in 2003, but
Okay.
not in the year 2000. So in 2003, there was an MTV party where Diddy had a mansion, I think in Jersey, and
Hmm.
it was possible for Jay Z in Manhattan to and Diddy to have apparently taken this person to the place where it happened. But the thing is, there's also multiple people accusing Jay Z, anyways, and this is the first one that has come out. But the lawyer has a couple more cases that he just hasn't. This first one of the 13-year-old in the year 2000, aka 2003. This is the
Man.
first of multiple cases. So for people being like, "Oh, this girl's messing up her timeline. It's fake." Like, slow down. We're not even.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, there's so many more victim stories to go through,
100%.
and like sure, fuck, there might be 10, 15, 20% of them, 30% of them that turn out to be fake or exaggerated or whatever. Sure, okay, if that comes to light, those people should be punished or should be discredited for false stories. That still means 70% of the rapes and assaults happen. So these motherfuckers, like, what are we doing here?
Right. No facts.
We screaming at people who make up fake stories more than actual assaulters? Nah, I'm not.
Yeah. No, no, for sure, for sure. It's definitely sticky, man. And we got to be handled with care and respect and integrity and of course justice.
You with justice, man. I'm like, yo, it's gonna be a long process, and like people just want to jump to conclusions real quick, like get one day's worth of information and be like guilty, innocent, whatever. I'm
Mm,
like, you got to filter through everything, and this will take time, and this will take multiple revelations of police information. But like, yeah, like we wouldn't be here in the first place if there wasn't some suspect is situations.
you know?
So like,
Ah,
yeah, I'm like,
well,
yeah, like they ain't out of the woods yet. And Diddy also is apparently giving up on trying to get bail.
I
So
saw that. I saw that. I believe there was like his third attempt of attempting to get bail, and no can do.
yeah, which makes sense because honestly, yeah, he's a danger to society. Straight, yo. So, but yeah, yo, it's wildest times ever in the game.
Man, you know what? I just keep thinking about Uncle Murda's year-end wrap-up, and like, I'm really curious to see and hear what like how he's going to put this year together in a record, because there's definitely a lot to build on, and he's been pretty consistent with hitting all the points, and now people are saying also too that Cat Williams should be doing another kind of follow up interview just to kind of close this portal that he opened or something.
Ah,
Oh man,
that's comedy.
yeah, yeah.
That's comedy. Yeah, I mean, it's not wrong.
Hey man, we just got to keep it going, man. But yeah, like let's I'm trying to think like in terms of just like Toronto culture, history, um, what's like a fond memory that comes to mind? You know what I'm saying? Like a moment in, and when I think of moments, I'm specifically thinking of like late '90s, early 2000s, like that kind of era. A hip hop moment that was very fulfilling to you, that inspired you in a certain way, or just was like, yo, like hip hop, like I'm just so glad to be part of this vibe, and this is the realest. I know
Oh,
you have probably have many, but just like whichever one comes to mind.
yo, I'm having this flood. But does it have to be you want 90s, man? I mean, there's one moment. There was this manifesto moment that was so.
Okay.
It was 2005. I'm pretty sure. I really like this. I really like this moment because it was right before our secret came out of Toronto being so ill.
Yeah.
Manifesto was killing it. There was an after party at Revival, and I'm standing on stage. I turn around, I see Scratch Bastard, I see DJ High Tech, Talib
Wow.
Kweli, and one other ill motherfucker. Oh, Rich Kid was there, and then Ninth Wonder was also there.
Wow.
I'm standing on stage with Ninth Wonder. Revival is ram packed, and like DJ High Tech is on the ones and twos, killing it
Yeah.
with Faster. The DJs are everything's amazing. The venue is just, and we this is the after party for
Yeah.
after Manifesto was,
Yeah.
and it was just everything is amazing. I was like, yo, this is hype. And I look at Ninth Wonder, and and
Just chilling.
I was like, he looks at me and he's like, "Yo, man, I will never forget these words. This is one of the most memorable conversations I've ever had in my life." He's like, "Yo," he goes, "Toronto is the best hip hop city in the world." Like he said that with he said that with all every molecule in his
Yeah.
body at that point in time. In 2005, he's like, "This is the best place in the world." And I was like, "Yeah, I feel it." And then I will never forget the response because I turned to him and I was like, and like I was being a little coy, but I was being just like
Yeah.
hypothetical, and I was like, "Yo, uh, you ever have a day like this in in North Carolina?" And I will never forget. Like he looked at me, he went. ugh, like he looked at me with these eyes that were like, "Are you fucking insane?" His eyes just cut into me, and he was like, "No." He just looked at me. He's like, "Not at all. Like this we don't like this ain't it ain't popping."
Man, that's peace. 100.
I was like, "Okay." I love that. That was so sweet.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. That's peace, man. I'm trying to think like a moment in time that comes to mind. I think you know what a moment. Okay, what comes to mind is the 416 Graffiti Expo. That's what's coming to mind for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember just being young and just coming into this space, man, that was just nothing but hip hop. So it was just like an open area, open parking lot where there was like, break dancing, you know what I'm saying? There's like a little stage where, MCs would be doing their thing. There was, the graffiti alleyways. So, the graph heads were doing their pieces. And it was just like all the elements of hip hop. This is like pre-manifesto, So um for me, like, and I remember in one specific cipher, we're all rapping, and Special Ed just shows up. Like
Ah,
Special Ed is just chilling, just like you know what I mean. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. And he
that's
looks exactly the same too. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we're chilling with him, I'm like, wow, this is like hip hop, man. Like I'm in the alleyway in a cipher, and Special Ed just pulls up, just like on some hip hop shit. Like amazing, amazing, amazing.
that's so real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're
Like
right.
that's the Toronto that I hold on to. You know what I mean? And that's like the foundation to me of like the Reminisce show because for a lot of us who are looking for like a sense of belonging or something to like connect to, like hip hop was that. Like that was our like rec center, our like community like space to like learn about ourselves because that's essentially what I feel like rapping is. It's us getting out of our head and understanding our thoughts and making sense of the world around us and whatnot. So it was just that's the vibe.
You nailed it. You nailed it. And we were all getting knowledge of self while learning each other. And just ciphering was essential. We were all like checking out each other's graffiti or like just trading records, trading songs,
All of
mixtapes,
that. Yeah.
passing the mic, all of that. Just man, just so good. We lived in such a blessed time. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and for me, like, as I mentioned, when I really got involved in the hip hop scene was around like 2008, and so it was like a great time where things were like, just moving and, like Elemental and other things that were happening. I remember, like my peers were part of the BMG street team and all
oh,
that kind of stuff. So, I was always getting blessed with like, the mixtapes and the stickers and all this exclusive stuff. And that was like my intro of getting in the scene, here. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, man. And the fact I'm already kind of tapped in, it just kind of like motivated me to really see what I can do, and I ain't leave since. So that's
that's right.
it, man.
Damn right. Like couldn't oh man. So many great moments and memories, yo. Like
Well, let me ask you this: like what would you be doing, like outs like if you didn't have the connection with hip hop, you know what I mean? Like what would that look like for you? Like if hip hop was just not existent in your life, and like
I,
what
I think the only thing I would be doing is drawing. I think I'd be
mm,
like drawing comic books. I totally would be doing that. That's the only thing yeah. If I wasn't like a if I wasn't like a radio host,
okay.
if
I
I
can see
wasn't
that. Yeah.
like I definitely had fun hosting radio and yeah. Those are the only two things I actually think I would be doing, but like hip hop definitely is how like gave me the philosophy of how I see the world.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop gave me like my outlook, and if not that, like it would be like some continuation of some Black Panther. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's what's up, man.
Malcolm X. What would Malcolm X be doing in this day? I'm just gonna like try to link up with that movement. That's
Peace. Yep.
what about you if you didn't have hip hop?
I don't know, man, because like hip hop really just put me on this like crazy journey and path, of different opportunities. Like without hip hop, like I can't say that I would have, like stolen from Africa in the way that it is now. Like I don't think so.
Hmm.
Um, because hip hop was very like instrumental in terms of just like the creation of it, and then just how it evolved. So I'm just like looking at it from that perspective. I'm like, nah, like I don't think so. Um, I think like videography, like like filming would probably be my angle, which kind of is at the moment too. But I feel back then that might have been another path, or I might have just played the game and just got like an office job or something like that, and then be miserable, like knowing that I'm not tapping into my potential, but I'm just kind of like following into this like cycle because I can't see anything outside of that, so um but fortunately that didn't happen. So yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. There's no way in the world. I don't think I was built to become like a cog in the machine. I couldn't. I wasn't built
It
to get a cubicle job.
honestly, like I had that experience. I did work in a cubicle job, like a summer position, but then also like my time like as a youth worker was also that type of setting as well. And for creatives, who are visionaries and who have a lot to express, to work in these confinements, it can be suffocating, and it almost feels like a self betrayal, and I just remember my energy after a while, it was just going down and down, it was depleting, and I didn't have any. By the time work was done, I didn't have any energy to kind of like feed my talents and my passions and whatnot. It was just that cycle. So once I got out of it, I was like, wow, like what a difference, like my soul needs this, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, so it's not for everybody, and that's not to say those who work in those environments that can't do that. That's great, but I think that's the whole point. As individuals, we got to figure out like where our alignments lie, right?
That's it. You got to get in where you fit in, because for sure, not everybody is a creative.
No, no. We need those folks who understand systems and structures, and to keep things moving for sure.
Absolutely, and they would, if you put them like a mathematician in like a paint studio, you'd be like, "Yo, man, this place is hell for me. I don't like this place. I want to get
Yeah,
out of here. Like, I want a computer."
yeah.
And so, like, I know that the closest to an office job I had is I worked at the National Post, and at that point in time, it was the highest paying job I had in my life, and
Wow.
financially, I was caking up
Yeah.
hard, hard, hard. And but I had so much money and I was so unhappy at the end of my days. I didn't even want to spend it in special places, and
Right.
like my energy was just drained at the end. I like did not get along with the people I worked with at all. They were really morally opposed to me on deep levels, even though
Mm.
like they knew I could do the job well, but just like
It
that
is like I said, man. The energy is draining. Yeah.
she was just off. All the other things that need to align in a workplace were not popping. And this is like the right wing National Post, and like
Yeah.
I'm writing about music and television for them, but like for a website they had, and
Yeah.
it was not good. It was so not good that like I quit 2 weeks before the 3 month period. Before
Oh,
I
you're
left it,
not feeling it. It's just
this is not, I can't keep going. And then I'm on 3 month probation. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna keep going.
yeah.
And literally on the 3 month mark, I was like, thank you, this has been great. We ain't vibing. And I left.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of creatives struggle with that, you know, um, having the pressure to like, be in these, traditional job settings and whatnot when like your soul is like, nah, this is just not it. Like trying to explain that, whether it's like family members or folks, like it's just not it, man. It's wild, and the journey of finding your path is definitely a challenging one, and it's oftentimes like lonely, but it's so liberating though, man. Like the liberation, it's unmatched. It really is.
Unmatched, unmatched. When I finally got back to, I was like, yo, man, I can't be. I'm a writer, but I can't be
Yeah.
writing for a fucking National Post right wing rag like this. Like,
Yeah.
my soul not gonna feel right in the morning and at the end of the day. So like, I got out, never turned back.
Mm.
And I ended up writing for Pound not too long after that. So I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
yeah,
hey, man, just got to keep it going. There's going to be opportunities. We just got to keep the energy circulating, man.
yeah, no,
We need to continue to tell our stories. That's the bottom line.
that is the bottom line for real, especially because the human like society has become the media itself in this day and age. Like we
Break that
really,
down. Hold on. Speak to that a little bit more. Society,
like we really,
society has become the media. Whoa.
we really are. We really gotta document our own shit. I actually just heard a story. I don't know how much you fuck with stuff, but sometimes I be watching like hella true crime stories
Okay.
and espionage, like real
Okay.
government corruption stuff. I try not to get too conspiratorial, but fucking
Yeah, yeah, you already know.
we're black. The
Yeah.
fucking Tuskegee is real. Like like shit.
100.
Yeah,
Yep.
some shit is just fucking a secret that they're keeping away from shit.
Yeah.
So um anyways, I just found out about a cold case of a woman who was murdered like 20 years ago, and some random dude on the internet stumbled upon the case, dug up a bunch of details, and got the case reopened and solved. Like like 4 or 5 years ago, just like regular people were like, yo,
Wow.
we're gonna read about this, we're gonna study the facts. Some cop was lazy or whatever, just that time.
Wow.
And yeah, just like people themselves reopened the case, got it solved her fucking murder mystery. And
That's
like,
really interesting.
so like I study every day. I study cases everywhere. I just study like what's happening in the world. Because like, magazines don't exist,
Yep,
now doesn't
yep.
exist anymore. Media doesn't exist. Papers are shrinking, so people gotta like be the news.
That's it. That's it. And it's like you said, it's a perfect time for us to like really just see the power of that. And I really feel like we're just in the beginnings of this, and things are, it's gonna be really interesting. But just the fact that there's that kind of power for the people, we really gotta value that and utilize it accordingly.
Hmm.
It's a real opportunity. I mean, as much as I like cat memes and all that stuff, man, like we gotta get down to business.
Oh shit, yeah, that comes after we've told.
There we go.
And
One
but
hundred
yeah, man,
percent.
that's what I love about you, man. You've always had a dedication to truth, and you just documenting history, man. I gotta shout you out because like I was doing some digging down a rabbit hole recently and found some old Onyx footage that you had taken,
Oh snap!
and I'm all up in it, man. And like it was just like it was an important part of Onyx was performing at the docks, and they
Oh,
actually like it was a really pretty big moment, and whew, yeah, you caught that. So
okay.
that's what I'd be talking about, man. Us just capturing history, man. We're doing it already, but we
That's it. As the saying goes, if you want to know what you'd be doing back in the day, man, you're doing it right now. You know what I mean? So if this was like the 1700s, man, we'd be, behind the shed, like plotting and trying to, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good, man. It's the same thread, same energy. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. You know what I
hmm
mean? So yeah, that's it.
yeah, because man, these are the last 2 weeks of the Biden Harris administrations. Come 2025, it's gonna be
Mm.
a shift. It's gonna be a shift. Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Nikki Giovanni who passed away recently.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Legend, man. Honestly, like I wasn't really in much like in tune with their work, man. And I just when I started seeing things flooding, I'm like how did I sleep on her, man? Like this is crazy. So I'm gonna go back in the archives and get familiar, man. I'm just grateful that she left us with such a great gift, such a incredible body of work, that will just help our consciousness and move forward. So I'm gonna get familiar with her stuff.
Yo, that's for real. And I wanted to shout her out because she did an interview just a couple weeks ago, right before she passed. And I saw what she was saying. She was like, you know what? She's just like, just keep shining your light. Nothing's gonna like don't change anything. Keep shining your light. She's like, I know. She's like, it
Mhm.
looks like, we're gonna be like ruled by some psychos and Nazis for the next few years, but just keep shining your light. Nothing's changed.
I see.
And I was like, yes,
That's
goddess. Like,
it.
drop that fucking super truth,
That's it, man. Keep shining your light. All right, I'm gonna do that. Yeah,
That's it. Just like stay in your lane. Just like, yo, just keep helping the people and keep it. That's like, I was like, yo, this sister is the eternal truth. So
that's peace.
bless the ancestors, yo.
Enough love, man.
Yo, we gonna
Yeah.
keep going. And I shout out. Do we got 17? Are we gonna do this on Christmas Eve, 24th?
I mean, we could tap in. You know what I'm saying? A little vibe.
Yeah, man. Fuck it. Let's do it.
All right. Well, so we'll tap in, man. You know, before the year is out, and yeah, man. So with that being said, man, you know we're gonna sign off.
Yep.
Reminisce show, carrying the traditions of Saint Kofa, man. Cause we got to go back and collect what we forgot and bring back what is useful. We're gonna keep bringing up the vibration, and guess what? We're gonna keep shining our light. All right. So we're gonna end like